All right, today we're going to be wrapping a handle, and we're going to be using a baby shark for this demonstration. The tools that you're going to want to have is a razor knife, a hole punch, a pair of needle nose pliers, a mallet. If you don't have one at the house, you can use a hammer, a straight edge of some sort, and all-purpose barge cement. You can pick this up at your local hardware store. You can get a small canister of it. It's going to be pretty easy to get a hold of. For best results, you're going to want to use a vise, and you're going to want to have something to wrap your handle in so that the vise doesn't mar the finish of your handle. So we're going to take the blade, set it in our safety wrap, and tighten it down into the vise. Once we have the blade secured in the vise, we're going to start with our leather. There's two sides to the leather. There's I don't know if you can see it, but the leather's cut at a parallelogram. And so there's a side that kind of shows the cut and a side that hides the cut. So you're going to want the side that hides the cut to be pointing up on the blade. So with that, we're going to cut a small angle into the tail of the leather, like so.
You're wearing a black shirt.
Like so.
There we go.
And we're going to start applying our barge cement. You're going to want to get good coverage of the barge cement, but not enough that you have big globules of it. Now, once we get good coverage of the barge cement on the leather, we're going to start on the pommel side and wrap it all the way around the inside of the handle. We're going to take our first wrap around, locking the bottom of the leather set, or the tail of the leather set in, and wrap over the top of the first pass. Once we get to the top, along the spine side where the steel is exposed, we're going to start wrapping downward. Once we start the wrap, we're going to want to continue that same angle all the way down the leather handle, putting tension on the leather as we wrap it. Going to reapply some barge cement. Once again, you don't want to get a big mess of barge cement, especially towards the top side that's exposed, or else it's gonna come out from under the handle wrap. We're going to continue this angle of wrapping all the way down to where we get to the guard. Now we're going to hold the tension that's on the leather and take it out of the vise. Now we're going to take our hole punch and we're going to punch directly down into the center of the leather, like so. It's probably a better visual right there. Now we're going to cut a tail into this leather. It's going to be approximately 11 to 12 inches long, tapering from the full width of the leather all the way down to nothing. And your end result should look like this. Now, we're going to apply more barge cement onto this tail. And wrap the tail around the handle one last time, looping it through the hole and pulling it tight, like so. I'm going to push the excess leather around. And now we have the tail sticking out. I'm going to take my needle nose pliers and pull the last remaining slack of the tail tight. And using my razor blade, I'm going to lay it on the tail of the handle and not push down with the razor blade, but I'm going to pull up with the tail. That way I'm not going to mar the aluminum handle set. And it should just pop off like so. After that, you're going to have a little bit of extra leather in there. You can take anything you find around the house. Butter knife. I made this little guy myself. And just push the rest of that tail down inside the handle and push it tight. And now we have a wrapped handle.